Okay, things seem glued in place enough. And remember, we're not gluing these together yet. I keep telling myself we're not gluing these together yet because my brain will start jumping ahead. Don't glue those together. We're going to glue the right and left tabs down to this centerpiece now. Now, I found my little, there's my little, okay. Put some glue here. It is something that I've wondered about, why I continually, I think I may need some more glue here. I keep putting because this is one of those, the glue, the cap sits flat, so all the tacky glue runs out. 9 times out of 10, as a right-handed person, I put the lid on my left side, making it harder to get to. Okay, and now I'm going to put this in here and give it a little squeeze. Okay, and we can see we can see in here that's not going to meet, but we don't see it very much because I have this lovely little marker. Now, if you don't have markers that the colors match, colored pencils, because you can always mix colored pencils together, that technique that I was showing you in the previous part of this video, in which my father used, you can use that to mix colors together as well, for things like colored pencil, and even marker if you really needed to. Okay, I'm gonna have to wipe that on my, I'm sorry, I did that thing that's really bad and I shouldn't do it. Okay, making sure that this is pressed in very nicely. So now we can kind of see the chair beginning to come together. Okay, now before anything else is done, these tabs need to be glued in, and then these are glued in. Hey, I think I actually did a pretty decent job here. Not that I am surprised. I'm not surprised at all. I've been talking my way through it like I'm one of Vygotskian, basically. How do I explain this? Vygotsky was a Russian theorist. He came up with something called the zone of proximal development. It's used in teaching. And when a child is at this level, but you need them to be up here, they still have to do all the stuff in between. So you know they're here, so their goal is going to be within here. You don't set it way up here, you set it closer down here. And within the zone of proximal development, there are methods and ways of encouraging children to work. And when you talk your way through something, and you will see children do this, it is a methodologically very common practice, so that the child will remember, or the person, I should say the person because I do it all the time, the person will remember, I need to do this step first, and then this step next, and then this step. And that's, I would do that a lot with my science courses. I took a lot of life science, but I also took a class that I loved. It was called Practical Physics, where instead of just learning and doing all the math stuff that goes along with physics, we got to learn physics through actual experimentation with things, which, as you can likely figure out, is kind of more my wheelhouse. And I loved it. And we would have little exams where we would have to do these experiments, and I would talk my way through them. Okay, so pinch that back down. Okay, so you can see, sorry about that little segue, but if you know me, that's what I do. Okay, so I've folded that down. We still need to glue down these pieces, but we're going to wait on these. So I'm going to pinch them back in so they'll kind of stay out of the way. And this can now be glued down, this back piece. Once these flaps are in, then you can glue down. Because remember, in this one, I glued it together and then had to tear it apart, and you can see how kind of yucky and gross it looks. So don't do that. if you would like, you can also add in another piece of cardboard here for more support, which I think I might go ahead and add in, because this is something I probably should have done earlier. However, remember who I am. Now remember, I don't want to make it this big. I just want to make it this big. And in Katieland, whenever I can get away without measuring is a good day. Or I shouldn't say measuring, because I am measuring right now. I'm going to make this about yay big by about yay big. You can see, I have 2 lines, and all I need to do is draw relatively straight lines from these up, and where they intersect, voila, I have my little insert. And I usually cut it just a tiny bit smaller because I don't want the graphite. Okay. Oh wait, that's gonna go there. Okay, that's just a smidge big. I'm gonna cut a little bit more off of it. And I'm just using, again, the scrap paper that comes off of here. Okay, just a smidge more. Let's see if that, because I basically just want this to kind of hold parts of this up. Now, because of this late stage edition, I need to come in and I'm going to add a little brown around the edges, these edges, because they might, what happens when you add that extra piece in is you make it a little wider, and it doesn't always close as nicely as I would like it to. And that's just part of what the material, the paper is. So I'm just going to add just a smidgy bit of color in here. A smidgy bit. Good grief. Okay, now let's add in, get rid of this. I don't know why I pulled that out. And let's add a little bit in here. And again, it's over on my left side. I'm like, girl, what is your problem? And I don't have to be super neat and tidy with this because I'm just going to be adding more glue. Okay, I'm going to get that as centered as I can. And go up. The reason I kept clipping is I didn't want it to hang over too much on this end because I know I have this to add. Okay, I'll do a little test fold. Okay, we're looking good. Okay, not too shabby. And because I know there's going to be some overhang here, I'm going to put the glue here. Now remember, for this, you're probably going to maybe want to use some clips to hold things in place. And this one is an easier one to do clips in because you've got kind of a large space to do it in. I probably also should have colored that board, but you know, neither here nor there. Okay. Okay. Now, before I put any clips down, I'm going to glue this one to this one. These last little teensy flaps. Teensy flaps. Okay. And I'm going to just put that right there. Okay. Man, I need to talk my way through this chair all the time. Add some more here. Put that down without wiping it on myself. Now, okay, there we go. That's a girl. This one matches up darn near perfectly. And I still need to do some little bits in there. Okay, now I'm going to get out. Where did I put them? Oh, there's some up here. Let me grab these. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to add those because I really want those to hold. And remember, you've got like 2 little flat surfaces there that you can use on those. Let's see, I got some more over here. I have a wire shelf over here, and I have things pinned too. So that one's kind of a gnarly one. Okay. And then I'm looking in here. Everything looks pretty good. Everything's kind of together. I think that's enough to hold it together. And then we let this dry and we go on to the next steps, which are gluing in the bottom. And I still do some supports in this chair. Now, oops, I need to do that. Underneath here, you'll see this is going to be a little bit more interesting doing this one right here. And you can see I did this one with toothpicks and a combination of toothpicks and the bamboo skewers. But we're going to do it all with bamboo skewers this time. So, I will see you in the next part of this video.